Let's talk about a budget-friendly PTZ camera targeted for churches. I've been using the Tenveo VX20M 4K PTZ camera at my church for about a month now, and I think it is time to discuss how well it works for our broadcast. Tenveo sent it to me knowing I run the tech team and wanted me to see how it would help with my workflow. They wanted my honest opinion, did not pay for anything, and do not have any say on what I'm about to share with you. I do get to keep the camera though, but that will not keep me from letting you know where the camera excels and where it falls short. I want to point out what I think most churches who want to break into that PTZ camera space want to know, so here's what I'm targeting. First, what will you need to integrate this camera? Then how easy is it for your volunteers to use? Is it worth the price? And why would you buy or not buy this camera for your church? In covering those 4 points, I think I will answer most of your questions. Well, if I don't, please drop a comment below with your question and subscribe to the channel. So, how can you integrate this camera into your service? Well, it's actually pretty easy. The VX20 gives you nearly every output churches use today for the broadcast. You get HDMI output that gives you 4K 30 video. You also get 3G SDI maxing out at 1080p 60, as well as USB 3.0, NDI, and all of which are easy to set up. So it meets a wide variety of workflows, whether you use a switcher, OBS or vMix, NDI, you name it. It also has a wired 10100 Ethernet and RS-232 serial ports for PTZ controllers, supports VISCA, Pelco D and P for controls, and VISCA, SRT, and NDI HX2 network protocols. And the great thing about the NDI is there's no additional license needed for that. It just comes with the camera. And the VX20 has a 1/4-inch line in and line out for audio. It also supports PoE. Now, I take advantage of the PoE and use NDI for sending video to our broadcast. You have the option to use its 12-volt DC power supply if PoE isn't an option in your setup at church. Now, our audio comes from a dedicated broadcast mix from our front of house console via Dante, but I did use the audio in with a Rode Video Micro for scratch audio for syncing purposes. So, is it worth the price? Well, currently it is on Amazon for $409 US. That's pretty cheap if you look at the range of 4K PTZ cameras out there. For instance, the PTZ Optics Move 4K 20x zoom is about $2,200 in the US, and if you look at the design, it is distinctly similar to the VX20, especially the I/O panel. It has a better sensor, but provide much as the same controls and functions that the Tenveo uses. So here's what I think. It is compelling to easily jump in at $409 and try this camera out, and for the money, I think it is worth it. Will it give you a cinema quality image that you see at, a lot of those top level live streams? Well, no, but I think the image is surprisingly good for the price, and for a small to medium sized church looking for a decently sharp, clear image with the 20x optical zoom flexibility, the VX20 really isn't bad. Actually, it looks pretty daggone good, even with the 1/2.8-inch sensor size. Now, it helps if you have proper lighting. If you don't, I do see you struggling to get a really good clean image out of VX20. But what I don't like is the limited bitrate options. I believe the maximum is right at 8,000 at 1080p for NDI, which is the max that the NDI supports for this camera, but you should be able to go much higher, in my opinion, especially if you're recording as an ISO for post-editing. For example, the OBS Tail 2 can go to 150,000, which may be overkill, but I'd rather have that than not enough. Many want to know about the AI tracking because it's really a selling point for the camera, in my opinion. But for $409, I would say don't expect perfection, but it is functional, and for the most part, it does an okay job. Where I struggle with it, when you compare it to my Tail 2s, which they are far superior, the OBS has the AI tracking game in the bag, let's be honest. The Tenveo should study their AI and incorporate it into their cameras if possible. A lot can be easily fixed and integrated via firmware update, I think. So here are really the two main issues with the AI tracking. First, the AI tracking just needs a lot of work. You have no control over it. You have two options, auto framing and presenter mode. The auto framing is best when you have a group of people, and in our case, that would be the worship team on stage. And presenter mode is best when your pastor or guest speaker is on the stage alone. But you cannot set composition parameters such as composition lines or AI zoom framing. You're stuck with what the camera decides, which 9 times out of 10 isn't really desired in my setup. For reference, the VX20 is 35 feet from its position in our media booth to the pastor's podium, and our auditorium is fairly shallow, but wide, so, stage left and stage right can be as much as 45 feet from the camera, and our pastor loves walking a lot. So, for me, I kind of need AI tracking to work well for our volunteers so they aren't constantly having to adjust things. Second, when the AI tracking is working, the movement is jittery, and its constant PTZ adjustments are really noticeable, especially when you put its feed side by side with the Tail 2s that we have. There needs to be an ease in, kind of ease out adjustment added. Is that something to expect from a camera priced at $400? Well, sure. Churches don't want jerky camera movement. I know I certainly don't. I think one of the ways Tenveo was able to keep this price low for this camera is something that frankly bugs me a bit. The web UI works okay with the camera, but is missing some key features, and it could be better designed for ease of use. It is missing things like AI zoom-in, composition controls, and ISO adjustments that I think are key to being able to get the frame and the look that you want using AI tracking. Now here's the issue. I don't know if Tenveo has the ability to add those things because I am certain that they outsource the web UI. Now I say this because a competing company I've verified uses the exact same UI. I've seen this with companies in the past that made similar controllers, similar to the Elgato Stream Deck in China, and they all use the same vendor who basically ripped off an old version of Elgato Stream Deck software and repurposed it for their own use. Now, I'm not saying this is the case here as far as ripping off someone else's design, but multiple Chinese camera companies are using this web UI to control their cameras. So is it possible to see improvements to the actual interface, such as slide controls for zoom, focus, white balance, etc.? Well, maybe, but I doubt it. Compared to companies like BirdDog, who designed their own UI at a substantially greater cost to us in the end, you can see a big difference in the quality. So I guess you get what you pay for in this instance. Autofocus is another area you need to consider. Well, does it work? Well, yeah, it works, but again, when you compare it to my other cameras, you can see where it struggles to maintain it resulting in substantial focus seeking. Also, back to the web UI, the focus controls, while present, well, they do not work well. It definitely needs tuning, and a slider, again, would be great, vice a push button, to increase or decrease focus when in manual mode. Well, what works best for us? Well, to maintain quality, we get the camera focused in AI presenter mode and switch it to manual to stop the focus seeking. We are far enough away that, our pastor stays in focus on all areas of the stage, no matter where he moves. So if we don't use AI tracking, we use the presets to frame our subjects and use autofocus for the most part. As long as the subject doesn't move a lot, it does a decent job at keeping the subject in focus, even zoomed in, which we never really need to go full zoom. At most, we go to about 12 to 15 times. Let's talk about presets, because this is something that you will definitely want to use, and for $400, this works really well. And you get up to 255 different presets, 10 if you're using the included remote. Now, I made a cheat sheet for the operators to help with the presets and found that we use around 8 during our services, mostly during our praise and worship sets. And this is one of the strengths of using the VX20 with their 300 Pro controller. I think the presets are easy to set and recall by any of our operators. So, why would you buy or not buy this camera? I think you really need to look at how you plan on adding this camera to your workflow. NDI is really compelling, and it is the main reason I like this camera. One Ethernet cable to a dedicated PoE switch, which you can get relatively cheap, and you have a really nice quality image for streaming. I would not expect a quality image for recording, at least at 1080p, but for streaming, I think it is fine. Most churches stream at 1080p anyway, and if you decide to go 4K, well, this camera will help you step up when you're ready. You just may need to, switch up your workflow if you do. I don't think this works in 4K and NDI, and I can actually verify that does not. only in USB or HDMI. Now, in terms of raw image quality, I am pretty happy with the results I've seen at our church. The only thing I really fight with is color balancing to match the other cameras. Now, I think the controls are fine, but it is just something you need to consider if you combine the VX20 with other brand cameras. I imagine if I had 3 VX20s, this will not be an issue. Now, I'm happy with the sharpness, regardless of the zoom level, and I think given our lighting, there's minimal noise on the image. The only thing is with autofocus, it tends to be a little bit softer. So if you are in manual, then you might be able to get a sharper image. I do wish the autofocus was more reliable, but it does an okay job for the most part. Using the web UI to control the camera works okay, but the experience isn't the best. I prefer sliders for things like focus and zoom because it gives you a visual to help along with more control. I think this is why it is a compelling option to look into a PTZ controller instead of relying on the web UI for all control. It makes PTZ controls and presets much easier and intuitive for the operator, and surprisingly, the 300 Pro they sent me for review is a great pairing to the VX20, and for my operators, they love it since it integrates with my other cameras too. My use of it does not rest heavily on AI tracking because it doesn't give me enough composition controls. I use it for our pastor, but that's about it. So if you want a set and forget camera for AI tracking, well, this isn't it. You will need to babysit it and occasionally recover it when it goes wacky. And here's another thing you need to know with the AI tracking. In presenter mode, the box it displays will go to your program feed when you are setting your subject. So if you are enabling AI, then you need to make sure that you're on another camera going to your program feed while you're doing it. Same goes for the menu display. Now, Tenveo kind of needs to figure out how to keep that from happening. Now look, for $400, this is a decent way to start adding PTZ cameras to your service, and I think you will get good use out of it if you aren't expecting a stream that looks like a major production like Elevation or Church on the Move. But you'd be surprised at the type of shots you can get under manual controls and the right lighting. If you have a broader budget, well, you might need a sensor, bigger sensor, lower light scenarios, or better resolution. Well, you might need to go look elsewhere because this camera is not going to be for you. This is really targeted to small and medium congregation churches with limited budgets, but are looking at affordable bang for the buck solutions to upgrade the broadcast. It's a good step to get into more professional level solutions so that when you do have the money to spend on something really good like a Canon, Sony, or even a PTZ optics, well, you have the basic knowledge and the workflows there to do so. And that's what I think. Let me know what you think. All church clips that you've seen in this video are directly from our stream, so you can judge if the quality of the VX20 meets your satisfaction. If you have specific questions, you can comment below or feel free to hit me on any of my socials. Links in the description. Thanks to Tenveo for providing the VX20 for this video. I will have a dedicated video out for the 300 Pro PTZ controller real soon, but if you are looking at the VX20 for your church, I'd highly recommend budgeting for the 300 Pro also. The setup for it was really straightforward, and this is coming from someone who's never used a controller before, so don't be afraid to try it out for yourself. The variable left with all of this that, I always question is the longevity. And this is just something I cannot answer to you reliably. So far, so good, though. The build quality is surprisingly good, and I have a hunch as long as you take care of it, it'll work just fine. Again, if you have any questions, please let me know. God bless, and happy streaming.